All right, we are open. Happy Monday. All right, so looking here at market open, we are below the HVL. All right, so that is negative gamma territory. However, in this blue section here, this is negative transition. So we're not fully negative gamma yet, but we are in the transition phase. So right now, for a continuation downside, I'm looking for a failure at HVL, okay, at 30,380. That's going to open the door for downstream downside rotation, um, especially if we break below the P trans, which is right here at P2. So if acceptance holds beneath 30,255, we're likely to see expansion down towards uh, even lower. Now for upside, we want to see acceptance above C trans, which is going to be at the top of this blue box right here, going into the call walls. If that happens, well, we have the potential of going higher, um, even perhaps leading the market towards thinner structures above C1 at 30,545. We do have news today. We do have a red folder event at 7 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern time. So we want to keep that in mind as well. So we are approaching the C trans level right now. You can see we are starting to reject off of that, but we'll see. With having a red folder event at 7, I am going to be a bit more patient here. Um, but I do want to wait until we either see acceptance above C trans or below C trans. So I'm just kind of sitting on my hands right now. Sellers are defending this area. It looks like had a big well seller step in. Might take a quick short down to HVL. I'm just gonna hold. I'm gonna wait. We do have VWAP right above us. Didn't really get much follow through from that well seller. Regardless, though, it is important to note that there was some high selling pressure here. Approaching VWAP. Let's see what happens. Starting to see some absorption here. Buyers tried to push back above VWAP, but sellers came in and pushing price down. My enter is short here. I'm going to target HVL. Stop's going to go right above this candle at 939. Looks like that C3 level, or the C trans as well, is also holding. Might get stopped out on this one. Unless the sellers can hold this area right here. Sellers did protect that area. So you got a nice flush down here. He's got to hold it. Buyers are really fighting at this level. Putting up a good fight. Yeah, got stopped out. It's all good. Just waiting for another setup. Now that we know this C3 level and C trans is holding, looks like buyers are going to want to take this back up. Seeing some aggression, seeing some big whales step in right now on the buy side. Let's kind of watch that for a minute. See what happens. We are right at VWAP as well. Again. Back in positive gamma territory. Here we go. Now we get the flush. And buyers are really wanting to push price up here. We've tested that C2 level twice now. Struggling to get above that. If you want to take another short here, try it. Let's see. Actually, I'd like to try. I'd either break back into this transition zone here. If we stay above this transition zone, uh, we are still bullish. I want to wait for a break into this blue zone for a rotation downwards. We also have red folder news in 10 minutes, 9 minutes now. And it might just be best to hold off until we see what happens with that news event. I'm seeing some aggression here from the sellers. And they just got bought right back up. Oh, there we go. I'm not going to chase this. I'm just going to wait right now. Because there's some chop right now. So I'm going to wait. So we're at HVL again. Kind of watch, see what happens here. Again, we got red folder news at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock our time, in about 5 minutes. So my first trade did play out. I just got in a little too early. Wasn't ready yet. Idea was right though. Had some looks like some war news come out. I was a bit bearish for NQ. We got news coming out in 2 minutes. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Well, let's see. Don't really know how crazy this red folder event is going to be or not, but All right. Well, we are below that P2 level here at 30,340. So let's see. Let's see if this we can push back in to these levels here and then see how price reacts. If we start rejecting, might be a good area to go short. Can target 30,255. Or are we going to push up from here? We are still in the transition. We're within this blue box here. We are a negative transition, but just something to note. Once we break below this put wall here at 30,255, we would officially be in negative gamma territory. Right now, I'll be looking to see if the HVL at 3380 or P2 at 3340, if we can hold. Like it looks like what we're doing right now. I'm going to use my volume footprint for confirmation. If we can hold below these levels, I'll go ahead and take another short. Got a big whale seller here. Might be a opportunity. I'm gonna wait for the candle to close. And I'll have my stop right above that P2 level.
Order filled.
I'm gonna target that P1 level. Might be an area I can add in here. Let's see. Or I'm gonna get stopped out again. And I got stopped out again. All right. Down 2 trades. Honestly, this is where I should have looked for an entry to go short. I still don't hate shorts though. I'm gonna re-enter. Stop is gonna be above HVL. I'm gonna target P1 255. We do have sellers present down here, so we have a call wall right there. Man, I didn't really see this. We had a call wall here, C5 at 32.95. Um, we actually have a lot of confluence at that level. Um, it's the fifth call side gamma wall. It's the fifth highest positive net gex. Um, essentially, the fifth highest call side gamma level, which we held. So we do have some buyers there for longs. I did not see that there. Let's see. Let's see if we can stay below HVL. We are still bearish overall. Um, just not the best entries right now for me this morning. Hey Ken, if you in the you watching? How you doing today? Taking any trades? I'm having a bit of a rough start, but still feeling good. Staying calm, focused on the process, not the P&L. got in. How did I get in? Should have marked it sooner. Here's right around here. Stop. Above. HBO. Targeting. Here, let's stop at 87. And this is why I also play small, right? Playing small allows me to take a few L's, still be in the game, and that's what it's all about. Man, that C5 level is actually pretty strong. I'm looking back at this chart. Let me switch my screen, show you guys. So this right here is a C5 level, and you can see how we had bounced off it, bounced off it, bounced off it, bounced off it, and we're still holding it. It's interesting. Seeing some nice absorption here. That nice long wick right there. Buyers have attempted to push higher. Sellers just came in and took out all those buyers. Closed with a -2 delta. So let's see. Let's see if we continue to push lower here. Oh, and got stopped. All right. Let's see here. Seeing some aggression from the buyers. I do like to see aggression. Getting aggression on both sides right now. Might be able to get a good entry to go long here. I'd like to see if we get back closer to the C5 level. See what happens there. That level's been holding. I want to see how this 5-minute candle closes. If we're going to close below HVL or above. We're, we're still bearish. That's my bias right now. So I am looking for entries to go short until we can see clear acceptance above HVL. We got 20 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. So I'm gonna get in a little early here, I think. Get in cheap while I can. Early meaning just I'm following my bias. I just wanted to get a cheap entry as opposed to trying to chase it.
Stop filled.
Today is not my day. All right. Well, the buyers are really wanting to push this higher. We are above HVL. Let's see, HVL over here. Just don't like going long when we're below VWAP. But looking at what's going on here, we are in positive transition above HVO. Also looking at these candles, like every time sellers start coming in, right? It's taking them, 3, 4 candles to get price lower as opposed to these 3 candles to get right back to where we were. Let's see if I can get in on a pullback here. I'm looking for longs right now. We are in positive transition territory. We're above HVL. So this might be a good area to look to get in for cheap longs. See, approaching HVL again. We want to see HVL hold on this test, on this retest. I'm gonna get a cheap entry here. I'm gonna have my stop. Let's see. Free line. Let's see. Oh, I don't like all those sellers right there. We are still above HVL though, so let's see if sellers try to step in, they fail here, and then buyers just jump in. It seems to be the trend this morning.
Here's your dinosaur for June 1st, the Magenta Thallus. Found in Madagascar, Magenta Thallus is known only from part of the skull, which was dome-like and rimmed by knobs and grooves. Although its forelimbs are not completely known, they were very short, while the hind limbs were longer and stoppier.
I did add into this position. Option VWAP again. We're gonna need to get above VWAP if we want to get any higher here. If we get above VWAP, I'm going to move my stop to break even. I look for an area to add in as well. Remember, we do have sellers, heavy sellers in this area from earlier in the session. That's what these red blocks are. I'd like to see us try to get above that and clear them out. Trying to push above that C3 level at 30,420. If we can get above that C3 level, we should make our way over to up to C2 at 3460, which is where my first take profit is. I do have another take profit above that at C4. We need to get above it though. And sellers are trying to step in and push this lower, but buyers are just not letting that happen right now. Alright, Delta flip back positive on this candle. It's a good sign. I got 2 minutes on this 5-minute candle left. What I'm looking for to further my confidence in this trade is a close above the C3 level and to hold that positive gamma territory above HVL, above C trans, which is right at the C trans levels at 3420. So if we can get a candle close above that, we should make it up to that next level there, which would be C2 at 3460. And then I have it running for 3500, so that's C4 level. I might even target that C1 level at 3545. The structure is a lot thinner up there, so we might, if we can get acceptance above 3420, we have a real potential of running up there. Yes, I'll be trailing my stop on the way as well to lock in profits. Right now everything's the same. I haven't moved anything. Want to get above this C3 level. Need to get above 3420 in order to see movement to the upside. So that's what I'm watching right now. If we get above 3420, see some acceptance, probably move my stop up, closer to break even. Actually, All these heavy sellers here from earlier in the session around VWAP are holding strong, so we need to get above them. There we go, getting a nice push. But I gotta stay above 34.20. Gotta stay above. Need to see some initiative buying here. Um, Essentially, buyers that's actually, you know, making progress, right? Buyers that, are stepping in, actually pushing price higher. Um, we need to we need to see that in order to continue pushing higher. Approaching my first take profit at 34.60. That would be the C2 level. And then I do got a runner going up to 35.45. That's going to be the C1 level. The buyers need to hold it here. Buyers can't hold it above 34.20. We might rotate back down. And we got to stay above 33.80 at the very least, which is the HVL level. Hey Kenneth, bro, you still with me? Been quiet in the chat. Nice. You in a trade? You in a long with me? I'm just chilling in the trade right now. Been in this for a hot minute though. How you doing on the day, bro? Kenneth, you red, you green? Keeping your emotions in check? And we keep testing that C3 level, um, around 34.20. Still above it, but we keep pushing back down, testing it. Oh no, dude. You gonna pick some more up or what? And if you're doing the Apex 5 pack, I would try switching over to the instead of the intraday drawdown, change it to end of day. Personally, I'm a fan of end of day. I do have some intraday drawdown accounts as well, but um, I do prefer end of day. Intraday, bro, you gotta just, if you're up on the day, you're done. You're no more trades. It's just not worth going back in, risking any of that. End of day, at least, like, you don't have to worry about drawdown so much. I mean, yeah, you worry about drawdown, but not for every single trade or while you're in a trade. Yeah, most prop firms nowadays are end of day. There's a few that have like Apex is known for their intraday accounts. The end of day accounts they have are the new, like the newer ones. Um, there's a few others that have intraday too, but they have options for it. Like trade day, they have account end of day and intraday. But most other firms out there, they're all end of day by default. I think that's what you're used to as well. Like Take Profit Trader, I think is end of day. All those firms that you usually trade with are all end of day. So switching over to intraday can definitely throw you off. Oh, you did NQ minis, bro? Gotta stick with those micros. It's alright though. I used to trade NQ minis a lot myself. I get it. It's tempting. But those minis hurt me more than they ever rewarded me. And then for anyone else that is watching or watching later, uh, my kids are out of school, summer. With that being said, a couple things. I'll be on stream longer. However, I might be hitting that mute button quite a bit more. Um, when they wake up, they're usually pretty rowdy, all that good stuff. So I'll still be on, but might be a little bit more on the quiet side. If that's the case, you know why. So keep pushing back down to this C3 level, 3420. We keep holding it. We just gotta maintain that. And then we need the buyers to really step in. Nice rejection there. Buyers absorbing all those sellers right now, keeping price above that C3 level. For sure, Kenneth. Yeah, man, review your trades. Um, really spend some time on it, right? I know I took a few bad trades this morning, working on getting that back right now, but I'm gonna be reviewing those, see what I missed. I know reviewing and journaling can get repetitive, boring, tedious, whatever, but it really, really does help. Especially if you're able to identify where you went wrong, how you went wrong, etc. Right? And then you now know what not to do moving forward. Now, the hardest part is not doing those things again, right? But you just got to keep at it, bro. All right, approaching my first take profit at 34.60. Let's see if we can actually hit it. All right, every time I say that, we get a push down. I'm gonna stop talking. But yeah, if we do, when we do hit that C2 level, which is my first take profit, I am going to move my stop to break even. Um, and then I have a runner targeting the C1 level at 35.45. And then if we get above 3,500, I'll probably move my stop um, to 34.20. I'll just keep trailing it up. Testing that C3 level again. Buyer still holding above that 34.20 at C3 level, which is good for me in this trade. Need that level to hold ultimately, and HVL, but as long as we stay above that 34.20, that's what I need.
Order filled.
Alright, first take profit hit. Gonna move my stop. Stop is moved to break even. Still gives this trade plenty of room to play out. Because I do think we'll see some rotation, not rotation down, but some continuation rather, up to C4 or C1. So C1 has the largest call side gamma. We do have the C4 level in between where we are now and my ultimate target. That's at 30,500. So if we do approach there, we'll be trailing my stop. If we get to 3,500, I'll probably move my stop up to the C3 level, the 34.20 level. Alright guys, I'm back off of mute. Sorry about that. That's why I give you guys a heads up though. I'm gonna be on and off mute probably for the next couple months until the kids go back to school. Huh. Still in this trade. We did get a little push down here. Kind of retested the C2 area, which did hold. We're seeing another push back up, approaching value area high as well. So keeping that in mind. But I'm still in this trade. Um, Stops at break even. So still looking good right now. Still looking good. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's hit that C1. Stop is being moved to 30,420. Come on. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Come on, baby. Let's hit that C1. Boom.
Filled.
There it is. Order filled. I am done on these accounts. I'm going to switch over to my other accounts. That was one hell of a trade. One hell of a trade. Um, if you guys were watching, I was down, I think 300. I was down 300 on all the accounts, got them back up. just under 50 bucks each. I'm taking it. I'm taking it. I'm gonna lock these accounts up. Uh, I don't need to get any more on these accounts, right? Finishing that green. These are my small funded accounts. So again, just working on scaling these accounts, right? A little bit of green every day. Gonna let compound interest do its thing. That was a 164 point move. A 3.8 R. Absolute banger. So I'm happy with that. Happy I got back in the green. Again, guys, trading small, right? You saw earlier, took a few L's back to back. Um, but, a couple things there, right? Like trading small, I'm able to keep my emotions in check. I know if I was playing minis or playing larger size, those L's would have hurt a lot. Um, Probably really would have messed with my emotions for the day. I want to say I would still remain calm, but definitely playing smaller does help, right? Down 300 is not bad, at least in my mind. It's something that I can make up. Just gotta wait for my setups, right? I'm still gonna review my losing trades I took earlier. I'll be looking at those later on, because I think it's important what I was missing. I know looking at, well, the level's updated now, but earlier I had mentioned it where we had a C5 level that was below HVL, which I didn't really see. But that was a level where there were a lot of buyers, um, a lot of positive gamma exposure, and that level held, and then we just skyrocketed from there. Um, so I know that for sure is part of it, but I did take some other trades that um, not quite sure why it didn't work out. I'm gonna have to deep dive that a little bit more. Um, but I'm gonna lock these accounts up. I'm gonna switch over to my other accounts. So hang tight. I will be right back. Signed into my other accounts. These are my Apex accounts now. All right, so now what? Right? I'm gonna go ahead update these levels. I think there was a few minor changes. Want to make sure I'm looking at everything. All right, yeah. So now we got some levels above the C1 level. Um, so yeah, if we could get back above C1, um, definitely have some targets up here that I'll be targeting. Now, if we start seeing um, some rejection here at C1, because C1 is a resistance level, right? It's a very strong resistance level. Um, so we might pull back. We might see a pullback here um, down to 3,500, 30,500, or maybe even down to the C2 level. I'm still going to be looking for opportunities to enter to go long. Not until we get back below. If we get back below under VWAP, under POC, under the 30,420, we enter this transition area. Um, Only then will I be looking for shorts. So we do have some stacked imbalances here from the 1130 candle. Um, these stacked bullish imbalances also act as support levels, right? High volume support levels. So looks like we tried pushing down into that a little bit. Um, and we are starting to rotate back up. But I'll be looking for entries like this, right? Like we dip back down in below here. I'll be watching footprint um, to look for an entry. And again, if we get above 30,545 again and hold and see acceptance, um, then we go ahead and probably target 30,585, maybe even the 30,625. Hey Kenneth, you done on the day? Or you gonna paper trade maybe? Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean, we definitely that potential is there. Looking at everything right now, um, I would agree with that. Again, right now, I'm just looking for an area to enter to continue to go long. And I'd like to push back into these this level, the support level here, this light green box, and see how price reacts. Um, I know we're kind of getting closer and closer to it, but I wouldn't mind a little bit more of a push down, watching how price reacts to enter. Although honestly, we might see a pushback down to the C5 level, um, which is near the bottom of this green box. Um, because if you look at this candle, that blew right through it. We haven't really tested that retested that C5 level yet. So we might come down, retest it. If that holds, um, that's what I'll be looking for. Is if that holds, if we see a lot of buyers step back in, I can see that being a good entry for a continuation long. And again, like some things that I look for when using volume footprint, I like to see large buyer or seller participation. And what I'm looking for is, 400 plus, right? 400 or more sellers, 400 or more uh, buyers at a certain level, specifically at a key level or an area of resistance or support, right? Depending on if we're going long or short. That, so large buyer seller participation. A, B, aggression. So when we see candles like this 11:30 candle here, and we had all these stacked imbalances, like that's a sign of aggression. So I look for that and a delta flip, right? So going from negative to positive, like if this we're negative 375, right? If this flips to positive by the time this candle closes, um, that would be a delta flip, right? Um, Showing that the buyers are present and holding that level. So all three of those paired together are super strong. Sometimes I enter, depending like just on large volume alone, or I'll wait, I'll mark it out and see the next candle or so if that level holds. Because again, just large participation doesn't necessarily mean anything. Um, you could have a bunch of people putting in orders at a certain level and then just getting wiped out from the opposing side. So I like to look for 2 out of the 3 criteria to enter. Obviously, 3 out of 3 is a go for sure. We did just touch that C5 level at 30,500. So let's see if this level can hold. I'd be looking to take a long, probably back up to C1. And I could get a cheap entry right here. Could have my stop right below that C1 level. See how this candle closes. I'm gonna go ahead and enter.
Filled.
I'm just gonna target this C1 level at 30,545. Stop is right below C5. Actually, I'm gonna target the next level up, which happens to be C7, 30,585, and then I'm just going to manage my trade with my stop. So once we get back above 35.45, we move my stop up to break even and go from there. Might get stopped on this. Let's see. Seeing some absorption. See if we can hold it. There we
Stop
go.
filled.
I did add another contract in my original entry. I am going to take one off at the 35.45 level. We make it back up there to C1. And I do have a second target at 30,585. So if we can get back above 30,545, I'll then move my stop back up to break even. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move both my take profits at 30,585, and I'm just gonna manage with my stop. Because the the expectation here is if we hold, right, we've already broken the C1, the expectation would be to go higher. So I want to capitalize on that in the event that we do. And then I could just manage the trade with my stop. So let's flip back to the 1 minute chart on this one. I want to show you guys something else that I've been kind of paying attention to and looking at lately, which is also another reason for my long down here. When you look at these candles, right? So it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bearish candles to bring price down here. And then we made up like half of that with just 2 bullish candles. And then another 1, 2, 3, 4. No, sorry. Yeah, 4 bearish candles again to push it back down to a 30,500 level. And then 1, 2, and this massive 1 candle took out, made up everything that it took sellers to do in 4 candles. We got back in 1. So that's just something I've observed. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like a strategy by any means or anything like that, but I do think, we do want to continue pushing up. It's taking sellers a lot to try to push price down, and they're not really getting anywhere. As opposed to buyers, they're able to just push price up like no other in just 1 candle. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. It makes sense to me. It's just something I've noticed. I don't know. I mean, you look at this candle too, right? Like, yeah, you look at like all of our pullbacks that we've had, right? It's very minimal bearish candles, and then like majority of it, if not all of it's made up with, 1 or 2 bullish candles. But we'll see what happens on this trade. I do have my stops in, still at the same level. Looking for buyers to jump back in here like they did last time at this level. But we might get stopped. So we're still testing that C3 level, value area high. Need to hold that in order for this trade to play out. If not, we break below, we could rotate back down to POC or VWAP, or right above that we have C2 at 30,460. So, but if we can hold, which is the idea for this trade, we should see a price continuation higher.
Stop filled.
That stopped on it. Alright. It's all good. Let's just wait for another setup. Let's see what we're going to do here. If we could get back above and reclaim the C3 level, I'll continue to go long. If we push back into it and clearly reject, might be a good opportunity to look for a short down to at least 30,460. My overall bias is still bullish, so I'm just looking for an area to go back in long right now. You should have seen that coming though with this on this 5-minute candle, this wick. All those buyers that pushed up got absorbed on that 5-minute candle. So either reclaim of the 30,500 level or a retest of this C2 level, see if it holds. We'll watch the volume footprint for confirmation to see when to go long again. If we break down below C2 though, we're probably going to push back down to POC or VWAP. Wow. There's some news. Trump says no word from Iran on reported talk suspension. Trump's comments signals stalled Iran diplomacy during active U.S.-Iran conflict, keeping oil and risk assets highly sensitive. That was some bearish news for NQ. Yeah, we're probably gonna go down to C2. That's the next level I want to watch a reaction for. Getting a heavy whale seller stepping in here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we got VWAP right below it at 30,442. Ooh, I like that absorption. I'm gonna take this. Um, see, stop right at the bottom of that swing low. Let's see. See if I can catch a move back up to at least C1. Hey Kenneth, you in anything? Long, short? What are you looking at right now? Long, yeah. Same here. My overall bias is bullish after that massive absorption we saw near VWAP. I figured I get a cheap entry, stop right below it. So if it does fail, very minimal loss. But let's see what happens. Targeting 518. I'm targeting C1, so 35.45. I might move it up and then just manage it with my stop. Like if we break above this 30,500, we'll probably move my stop to break even. Um, and then so on and so forth as we continue up, if we continue up. Cause yeah, if we're gonna reclaim highs, we're gonna probably continue higher. So I want to try to capitalize on that and just manage it with my stop. I've been doing that lately. Like, you know, prior I would have like a, oh no, I'm just taking it here, just taking it here, right? Now that I'm understanding more about like options flow and stuff like that, and just understanding more about trading in general, um, I've been willing to kind of put my take profits a little bit more than I normally would, and then just managing the trade that way for my stops. That way, if it does continue in the direction I'm in a trade, I'm capitalizing on that, but still protecting my position using my stop loss and trailing. So that's something I've been working on lately. So are you just targeting like value area high, or you said what, 518? Okay. What do you see at 518? Out of curiosity. I'm just wondering why that's your target. I don't see anything on my end that is like around 518. Oh, okay. I haven't even looked at that chart in a while, but makes sense. I understand what you're looking at. There we go. Getting a nice push here. Seeing some big whales step in. That's what I like to see, especially when I'm in a trade. I like to see that confluence of buyers really stepping in, especially if I'm in a long. Like that's exactly what I want to see. Now they just need to actually move the market, though, right? It's a whole different story. Um, like I said earlier, they could be, jumping in here, buying at this level, buying, 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 but they actually need to. Like, I don't like this long wick right here. So did your take profit just get hit, or did you move your stop? Or sorry, if you move your take profit, there we go. Let's keep pushing. And I know you're paper trading, but are you paper trading micros, minis? How many contracts? You want to try to keep it as realistic as you would trade a live account or a funded account. That way, the practice is that's what makes it worthwhile, right? Like if you're just doing 20 minis, right? You're not going to be doing that on an actual account. But I always say trade like you would on a funded or whatever while paper trading, right? But you still in this, or did you take profit at 518? for sure. And so you see what I'm talking about? These candles, bro. Like if we go to like the 1 minute on my candlestick chart, actually 5 minute, I can. Like, it's not taking many candles to get to where we were, right? They're not having to work as hard, I should say. I don't know if that's like a better analogy. They're not having to work as hard to get price back up as opposed to sellers that are, having to put in the legwork and we're getting, it's taking them 3, 4, 5, 6 candles to get price to where they want it. And then buyers will step in and like one candle wipes out two of their candles. We're at prior day high, prior week high. We need to push back above that. We're approaching that C1 level too. Like I said, once we get above C1, I'm going to be moving my stop and managing it from there. Alright, I'm going to go on mute real quick. I I am off mute. Had to get my son some breakfast real quick. So yeah, still in this. Approaching that C1 level at 30,545. Again, if we can get back above that, if we can see acceptance above that, we should be able to take it up to that next level. Kenneth, you still in this? Or did you get out? I saw you took profit at 518. You said you got in at another location though? Okay, you had an order in at, yeah. Where I have these green boxes marked off at, these are heavy whale buyers. You might want to, do you want, you try getting in around these levels here um, for continuation higher. So I'm watching these. I'm making sure that these are gonna hold. Still in this. Looks like those buyers are still holding at these levels. Looks like we went and tested this guy right here. Seems to be continuing to hold the market up, or hold price up. You just have to get above this prior day high, prior week high. And we should be able to make it above C1 at that point. But right now that prior day high, prior week high is holding. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, I had a phone call real quick. Going on mute again. Alright, I'm back. There we go. Seeing some nice movement on this trade. Got another whale buyer stepping in. All right, my stop is in profit. I have it at the C3 level. Let's keep it going. Here we go. Seeing some large whales stepping in right now. You still in this, bro? You in this with me? Let's go. Come on, baby. Keep pushing. Come on, we're almost there. Keep it going. So you out of it or are you still in it? Come on. We are almost there. Oh, you're still in it, but you're in it more contracts now. I'm targeting 585, which is that next call wall, C7. So that's the next target I have that I'm looking at. If you're still in it, I would get out there, unless you want to continue holding it. But I'm gonna call it a day once. Boom,
Order filled.
there it is. Wow, what a wild day, man. What a wild day for me. I don't know what it was. Maybe coming out of the weekend, I was eager to take some trades. I wasn't reading the market clearly or what. But you saw it all live here. You saw my losers, you saw my winners. Um, again, I didn't let my losers, wipe me out for the day though, right? Trading small, um, remaining calm, focused, and just waiting for the next setup to present itself. Um, so even with the losses I took today, I managed to get all accounts net green. Um, I'm happy. So I think in total across all accounts, let's see here. About $800 on the day. About $800 positive on the day. Total across all accounts. So I'll take it. I know this stream was a bit long, um, but I do recommend everyone watching it, at least fast forwarding to the parts that I take the trades. Um, but ultimately, I think this video does a good job of um, highlighting both my losers and winners, right? How do I act? How do I trade after I take a losing trade, right? How do I, keep my head in the game to ultimately finish the day net green? Um, it's actually kind of rare that this is one of the very first lives I think I've done where I've taken L's like that, like back to back. But it's also one of the first live streams I've able to do that and remain calm and focused and get back in the green on the day. So all my accounts have been traded. I am done for the day. I'm locking out all the accounts. And that's that. I'm going to spend some time reviewing my losing trades. I think I had a total of 4 losing trades. 4 losing trades, 2 winners. My winners outperformed all my losers combined. That's how it should be. You want your winners to outperform your losing trades as far as P&L goes, right? Like your winners should be larger than your losers. Um, that's what's going to keep you profitable. That's what's going to keep you in the game. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. Kenneth, I'll see you in the Discord, bro. Um, I'll still be on and off throughout the day. I might be doing some trade reviews and stuff like that. I'm gonna review my day. Um, but have a good day. If you guys continue to trade, trade safe, trade smart and safe as always. And I'll catch you on the next one.